Hello, my friend. Thank you so much for joining me on this channel. My name is Henry. I'm a filmmaker. Sorry about the sound and the very unusual environment. Trying to be efficient with time. I'm here out with my baby. So in 2022, I shot a feature film. I was in charge almost on all the department. I was the writer, the director, the cinematographer, editor, colorist, producer, you name it. Of course, I had people that helped me to make it possible, like art, camera assistant, line producer. My wife was the line producer. So it's that spirit of saying, I just want to make things happen, and a very good experience. So I thought probably I should share with more people. And just like the way I've been influenced and inspired with other YouTube channels like Filmlight and many more, so many people that make movies and just share the experience, and they help person like me to say, look, I'm also gonna get out and try to make it happen. Yeah, so it started obviously with the writing. The movie is called Lost and Found. I had another idea on the table. I had like something like not sure which project I should do, and then sometimes as a filmmaker you try to look at the atmosphere of the market and people around you and what's going on right now. So I had an idea of another movie which it took me like 3 weeks to write it, and the minute I finished writing it, I was still doubting, like, really, is that what I want to do? I feel like I'm wasting time with this script that I wrote. I sit down, and in 2-3 weeks again, I was done. I did like a first draft, second draft, and yeah, that was it. So where did I get the inspiration to write this script? In 2022, when we got pregnant of this boy, I had a lot of time just being home and helping my wife. So I had a very good time reading. I think I read like 4 books in a month or something. It's somehow like helped me to move with the spirit of this project. And it's the books also that I read was more nice African books with story that I always wanted to read, story that I always wanted to connect to. So it was like a very perfect match. So what's the movie about? It's a story about a girl that traveled across the country to look for elder sister. That's it. And the elder sister ran away long ago when they were like 10 or 11 because of the domestic violence at home. So apart from the books that I read, there was also some incidents that really killed my spirit that happened in my society. There's a lot of women that have been killed. Like, come on, it's like every day you wake up, there's a story, but this man kills the wife, this boy killed the girlfriend. It was devastating. And there was a very popular Nigerian gospel singer who was killed by her husband. So before we go to the technical part, I would like to talk more about the process from the beginning after the writing. When you're writing a script, you need to write exactly things that you would like to see on screen. Don't bullshit. Don't try to stick too much to the rules of this idea of first act, second act, third act. It's a guideline. If you know it, it's the best. Let your mind be free. Just explore. Just put things out there. Writing things that you know. That's what I did. I wrote things really was happening. I have put my personal experience. My parents were fighting when I was a kid, so I put some of my personal experience on it also. So after the script was done, we went to do the location scouting. And something very important about my process is that when I do location scouting, I go with everyone, not just the technical part, the technical crew. I go also with actors, especially the main actor, because, well, if they have time, this helps them to reconnect with the location even before you start shooting. When they are reading the script, they can imagine, they can have better understanding of their personalities, and sometimes they have very good suggestions also. Yeah, so after the location scouting, I wanted this movie to have a lot of nature because the film is shot in Tanzania. my home country, in a very beautiful place called Moshi. It's a feet of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's a very green and has a very beautiful vegetation. One thing that you need to consider when you're doing location scouting is whether that location has very quiet environment to be able to shoot, because sometimes you find a location, you love it, and the next day you show up to shoot and it's like there's a factory where they make woods, and it's it will take you forever. Also, when you're doing location scouting, you need to see if that place has electric supply. My movie has a lot of exteriors. That means I had less time to worry about the electricity, but the exteriors also, you need them to look very cinematic. So I am, all the time when I go out for a walk, I'm always looking around, judging the light, taking photos, just being connected to the environment. So trying to make sure that you have all the locations grouped almost in one place. What I mean is that if you have a big scene that are happening in a different multiple locations, try to put them at least in one neighborhood, if possible even in one house. Sometimes you have a scene just happening in one room, so you can turn another room in another part of the story, to make sure that you don't use so much time moving the crew to one place to another. It's gonna cost a lot of time. Specifically, if you have a lot of people coming with cars, you need to find probably a good place to park, and should not be very far from your set where you're filming, because it's going to be so easy to offload the equipment. If you are just like me, no equipment at all, you just have to be in a place that probably people have access to, like a bathroom. Also, sometimes we were eating, food was coming from the nearby restaurant. So this one of the things that when you're doing location scouting, you try to map out which restaurant is nearby, and probably you have to talk to them on before even you start filming. So it's going to help your life more easier when you start filming. Another thing I would like to talk about is production design and wardrobe. I didn't have a very big set to build or crazy reformation of places, no. It was a simple story that needed just a regular housing, regular locations. So I didn't suffer so much to rebuild the places. It was just indoors decorations and adding few props in the houses that we found. The only thing that I was very specific was the wardrobe. I was very intended to have a specific look of my main actor. Supporting actors, I would tell them just come with the wardrobe that you have, and which is very nice because I didn't have to buy for everyone the clothes. And this one thing to consider when you're doing these self-funded projects is that you don't want to complicate things and to be stuck in single idea that will stop you from making the movie happen. I'll say for me it was more, I was much concerned with the story and how these actors will be able to tell the story in a very truthful way. So I spent a few times. We went to the second-hand market where we could select exactly the clothes that I wanted. I wanted something very simple, something very flexible. So we had a lot of choices to go through in the market. I had a privilege to go with the actor, and so that I could just pick up clothes there and say, look, does this look nice to you? Did you like this? And also for myself, because when I pick clothes, I also consider the post-production, like in color grading, how the image will gonna look, how it's gonna support the story. Also, the nice thing is that the actress herself, she has experience on fashion design. She's a designer. She knows how to sew clothes. She knows how to make anything. So she was more also like an advisor of what look nice, what doesn't, and what resonate with the story. So after the wardrobe, I pick up the camera and we did a screen test. I wanted to be sure of these things, and we don't have so many wardrobe change. So the idea was to do the screen testing and to see if we lock on something that we like, and that's gonna be it. There's gonna be no more wardrobe change. There's gonna be no frequently. Go trash it. my baby. She was like, Papa, what are you doing? That's crazy. So I shot it, I edited, played it on the screen, see how it looks, and I find my there's some wardrobe that I didn't like, so we had to go with the one that eventually made it in the movie. So from this video, I'll leave you with a few advice. Advice number one is that try to work with people that you know, because it's gonna be so easy for you if you are directing yourself, cinematography yourself, because the people that you have experience with, they are more likely to know your style. They are more likely to understand your style, I would say. And you also, as a director or cinematographer, it helps you also to know their limitation, their capacity. In my case, I started working with the actress probably 15 years ago from secondary school, where I was directing my first stage play, and she was the cast as well. And from there, we just stayed together. She always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to be behind the camera. We worked on different small projects, personal projects, to her being casted in a big production where eventually she ended up being on Netflix. And that's has been the journey. And even in this one, we can't just do what we usually do. I would say in the time that you need help, don't be shy, ask for help, because sometimes you be in a position that you have to put your ego aside, because you need to have a movie. Whatever situation you are, whatever's going through around you, you need to finish and have a movie in your hands. That's what counts. The rest is just stories. Tell them whether you have money or you don't. Of course, in a lot of production, people will never tell you that we have 100 million budget. They will still say it's a small budget. But just be honest. Say, I don't have money. Do you think you can act? Do you think you can help me with the sound? Do you think you can do this and that? And most of the time, when you are sincerely really need help, people are always there to help. The other advice I would say, try to be very communicative. Communicate with people well. Don't panic. Don't shout on set, because you are more like a captain of this ship. People believe in you. People believe in your dream. Most of the time, when people give their time to you, it's not because they don't have anything else to do. It's because they just trust you and they believe you. So try to give back respect by communicating in a very polite way, I would say, not expressing your anger all the time, shooting on people and just provoking people for no reason. And yes, things happen on the set. You can try as much as you can to make it more respectful. Also, I would say on time when things are not going well, don't panic. Just use your best level of your knowledge to troubleshoot. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I would like you to subscribe if you didn't for more videos. And I promise you, I'm going to build a studio and do the videos in a very comfortable environment. Thank you.